Betty White in Life with Elizabeth, featuring Del Moore. Incident number 1 in the life of Elizabeth occurs every time she and Alvin play a game, like checkers, gin rummy, or chess. For the most part, Elizabeth and Alvin get along just fine. But when it comes to competing with one another, they become children again. Watch. Elizabeth, how are you tonight? Is that a Monopoly board there on the table? Isn't that the real estate game where you buy and sell property and stuff? Who's winning? Naturally. Well, call Alvin back in and let's see you finish the game.
Alvin!
Now, honey, don't forget, I made the coffee, so you have to serve it.
Oh, no, the loser serves the coffee.
You've got a deal. This game isn't over yet, boy. Whose turn is it?
Honey, before we finish the game, let's make a promise to each other.
Sure, what?
Well, just as, let's not act like a couple of kids and get mad. After all, it's only a game.
Sure. We do get carried away sometimes, don't we?
And no cheating.
Elizabeth, I never cheat.
Well, let's just say you manipulate the rules a little bit. Is it a deal?
A deal.
Okay, let's see. It was my turn.
No, it's my turn, dear. Isn't it? All right, Cobra Eyes. You rolled. You rolled your 5. Go ahead.
Alvin, I purposely waited my turn so this very thing wouldn't happen.
All right, go on, go on. So it was your turn. Go ahead, count off 5.
2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, I got a chance to buy the electric company.
All right. Well, don't be a pig, Elizabeth. You already own the railroad, 3 hotels, 5 houses, and the waterworks.
Darling, I can't turn down an entire electric company for $150. What would Edison think? Besides, you're doing all right.
Doing all right? So far, all I own is a grass shack on Oriental Avenue. Where am I? Over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Back to jail again. You're getting to be quite a criminal, honey. 10. 8, 9, 10. Chance. That means I get to draw a chance card.
Look, I know what it means.
Your building and loan matures. Collect the $150.
You just can't lose, can you? 7. Ha ha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Community chest.
That means you get to draw a community chest
Look,
card.
I know what it is. I can read. What's the matter with you? Go to...
You're back in jail again.
Well, it isn't fair. I never got out.
Oh, now, don't be such a baby. I'll come and see you.
Anyway, who ever heard of the community chest sending anybody to jail?
Did you make a contribution last year?
Well, of course I did. So why should they want to send me to jail?
Maybe your check bounced.
I'm going to call them up.
Oh, your game. Goodness, I never saw such a baby. 3. I own another railroad. I tell you what I'll do. If you ever have to travel on my railroad, I'll let you ride full fare. All right. Case to have connection.
12. Chance. If they send me back to jail this time, it'll be the last time I play. Return token to the nearest railroad and pay owner twice the rental she is otherwise entitled.
You owe me $100.
Why twice the rental?
Well, anybody who's been in jail as many times as you have is a bad risk.
Well, I won't ride on your no-good railroad. How do you like them apples?
You have to. And you're lucky, too. It's a policy of the line. Ordinarily, we don't carry people who send bad checks to the community chest.
Roll the dice.
12. 12. Park Place. I already own that. Oh. Fine.
Wait till you land on my property, Oriental Avenue. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Free parking. My luck is changing. Save 2 bits.
9. I get $200 for passing go.
You just can't lose, can you? Go on. You'll get paid.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oriental Avenue. That's my property.
Well, now, calm down, Alvin. How much is the rent?
How much is it? I don't know. I'll look it up. $6.
$6 for an empty lot?
Come on, come on. This is the first time you've had to separate yourself with a dime. Let me have my money.
Why don't you put a house on it and you can charge more rent?
Could I? All right. How much are they?
$50.
50? Here you are.
Here's your house. Now how much do I owe you?
Oh, let me look it up. Let me see. Here it is. $30. All right, so I lost on the deal. Give me my $30.
$30 for a grass shack?
That is not a grass shack. That happens to be a perfectly good modern house. Come on.
What kind of a house can you get for $50?
Come on, pay me my rent, Elizabeth.
Now, wait a minute here. Just a second. Maybe we can make a deal.
$30. No deals, just the 30.
How has it been since you paid your water bill?
I just built the house. I haven't turned the water on.
Oh, yes, you have. I own the waterworks. We work very fast.
I tell you, there's no water in my house, Elizabeth.
Then how come you're charging me $30 rent for a house with no water?
I have to. It says on the card right there. Please, honey.
I'll tell you what I'll do. You'll charge me only $19 for rent, and I'll forget about the water bill.
Now, wait a minute. You're talking too fast, and I always wind up on the short end of these.
Now, it's very simple, darling. You're charging me too much rent for a cheap, rundown shack, but as the landlord, you have to pay your water bill.
Yeah.
Now, I happen to own the waterworks, and your bill comes to $11. Now, I'm willing to deduct the water bill from the rent, which is pretty nice of me, so pay me the $19.
I knew I'd have to pay you.
Okay, if you don't like that arrangement, I'll move out of your shack.
Why?
Because I don't like a landlord who won't pay his bills.
I shall leave you at this point, Elizabeth.
Where are you going?
To get the coffee.
Then you admit I won the game?
Remember this. Cheaters never prosper.
Elizabeth, aren't you ashamed? Thank you. In just a moment, we'll bring you incident number 2 in Life with Elizabeth. Incident number 2 in the life of Elizabeth occurred a couple of Februaries ago. It seems that Elizabeth was planning on giving a very important dinner party and was having just a little bit of trouble.
Elizabeth, I'd like to borrow this chair for just a minute, if you don't.
Hi, honey.
Hi. Hey, what's the big idea of all of this business?
Alvin, how are we going to get 12 people around this table?
Nothing like a direct answer.
Come here a minute. One, two, three on this side.
What are you doing, measuring me to see if you can get 3 people on this side of the table?
Uh-huh. But it's impractical. I didn't measure you where you're the widest.
I resent that.
I was thinking about your shoulders, darling. Now, let's see. Dorothy's about my size.
Hmm.
That's, About like this. And then Harry's maybe just a little wider through the middle than you are.
A little wider.
Up there. And,
Now, who in the world was this?
Alvin, we just can't invite Mama.
Sure we can. She's not that big. You said yourself she was going on a diet.
Yeah, but she's such a poor loser.
A poor loser? That's a very funny line. Diet, a poor loser.
What's funny about it?
Well, you said yourself she was gaining weight, and...
I'm sorry, Alvin. I can't see anything funny in jokes about Mama.
But, honey, you said it yourself.
Mama's always liked you, Alvin.
Well, I like her, too,
She told me long ago if I had to marry an idiot, it might as well be you.
Well, I appreciate that, too, but, honey...
So let's have no more talk about Mama.
Oh. Sorry I brought it up, Elizabeth.
Okay. Now, how are we going to get 12 people around this table?
Why don't you put a couple more leaves in the table?
Oh, that's too easy. There must be a harder answer than that.
Say, this is one of your unreasonable days, isn't it, Elizabeth?
Is it unreasonable to want to put on a good party for your husband so he can further himself in the business world?
Look, honey, aren't we going to agree on anything tonight?
If we do, you'll be wrong.
I know where I stand, Elizabeth. Good night.
Oh, darling, come here. It's just that I'm so upset about these seating arrangements for these people. I keep getting the feeling I've done something wrong.
Now, look, don't worry. Look, let's work it out together. Come on, sweetie. Now, tell me what's your problem.
Well, if I put Mr. Fuddy at the head of the table, then I should put Mrs. Ratbone here.
Right.
But that puts her right next to the doctor's wife, and they hate each other.
Who, Mr. Fuddy and Mrs. Ratbone?
No, the doctor and his wife.
Well, why don't you put the doctor next to Jackie Frost?
Oh, honey, you know how she is. She'd be trying to get a free diagnosis on her sinus condition all night. Besides, there's the matter of protocol.
I thought you were going to serve coffee.
I just can't put Dorothy between Harry and Fred. She'd dominate the whole conversation. Be a regular monologue.
Say, why don't you put Dorothy next to Edna?
Well, then it'd be a catalog.
How about next to Jackie?
They can't stand each other.
Mrs. Ratbone and Edna?
Those two?
I just thought I'd ask.
Alvin, I keep getting the feeling I've made some horrible mistake.
You did. You invited women.
Where do you want to sit?
You women are really catty, honey.
Where do you want to sit?
Anywhere at all, as long as it's not next to Fred. If I have to hear that story one more time, how he made a hole-in-one at Northridge. He says he took a 9-iron, Elizabeth. Mind you, a 9-iron, and pulled it back.
Don't put Alvin next to Fred. How do Harry and Mr. Fuddy get along?
Mr. Fuddy's always making fun of the way Harry's nose turns up. He told Harry, listen to this. He told Harry, he said, Harry, if you ever get caught in the rain, you will drown.
Meow.
Now, you know that his nose doesn't turn up that much.
Now, how about Mr. Ratbone and Fred?
I think they're speaking, but I'm not sure. And, of course, the doctor hates everybody. Oh, this guy.
Well, that does it. We can't seat anybody.
Good, let him stand up.
That's it.
What's it?
Well, sure, we'll serve a buffet.
See, you didn't have anything to worry about after all.
Oh, honey, you're a genius.
I know.
I still keep getting the feeling I've made some horrible mistake.
Well, let's investigate your horrible mistake. Now, let's see. Did you send the invitations?
Yeah, I know I did that.
Put stamps on them?
Yeah?
Mail them? Mail them?
Yeah, I know I did that.
Stamps.
By the way, did you see him?
No, I didn't. Do you have one left?
Oh, they're pretty.
Stamps. Give me them.
They're so pretty. They're all embossed and everything.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
Well, it says we request the honor of their company on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It is for Monday, isn't it?
That's right.
We request the honor of your company Monday, February 30th.
Monday, February 30th. There's nothing wrong with...
Now, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Now, don't get panicky. Maybe it's leap year or something.
Even leap year, they only have 29 days, Elizabeth. How could you have done that? March, April, November, June, July, August,
November.
October. No, 30 days.
Thank you. And in just a moment, we'll bring you incident number 3 in Life with Elizabeth. Incident number 3 in the life of Elizabeth occurred on one of those nights when Elizabeth had gone too far in trying Alvin's patience. There they are, Elizabeth and Alvin. Elizabeth is the pretty one. Alvin is the miserable one. Come to think of it, they're both pretty miserable. Okay, kids, you can come to life now.
Alvin? Honey. Here, darling. For your cigarette. Oh, I'm sorry, darling.
Elizabeth, do me a favor and just don't talk to me.
Well, I have to talk to tell you I'm sorry.
Look, you've done enough talking for one day, Elizabeth. I specifically told you not to tell a soul. You went right out and told Geraldine.
I did not. Besides, she said she'd keep it a secret.
Secret? I thought she was one of your best friends.
She is, only I can't trust her.
You're no better than she is. You can't keep a secret either.
Can too. We were engaged for 3 whole weeks before I ever told you about it.
Wait till Mr. Fuddy hears about this.
Now, Alvin, what would Mr. Fuddy care how long we were engaged?
I wasn't talking about that, and you know it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Can't you say anything but I... Answer the door, big mouth.
Hello, Mr. Fuddy.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Do you want to come in?
Oh, let's put it this way. Either I come in or I fire Alvin.
Who's the loudmouth?
Me?
No, of course not, Mr. Fuddy. We know several loudmouths.
Hi, Alvin.
Hello, Mr. Fuddy. How are you? Elizabeth, it seems to me the least you could do is to tell me that my boss is here.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What's going on here?
We're having a little disagreement.
A little disagreement? Tell him what you did. I dare you.
Alvin, how can you talk to her like that? Just look at that face.
That face contains a mouth that is always blabbing.
Stop growling at her, Alvin.
Yeah. If you want to growl, why don't you go in the den?
Now, you tell me all about it. And, Alvin, control your temper.
Well, I borrowed the car to go over and see my friend Geraldine, and Alvin had to ride the bus to work.
Is that all? Alvin, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Let her finish.
When I turned into the driveway, I knocked over a rose bush.
Well, it's Geraldine's fault for having a rose bush in the middle of the driveway. How can you upset this little girl?
Mr. Fuddy, tell him where the rose bush was.
In a little pot on the front porch.
Well, so what? I'll pay for the damage myself. Now, Elizabeth...
She's not through yet. Go on.
Well, Geraldine and I were talking about one thing and another. You know how you do.
Here it comes.
It can't be that bad, Alvin. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Well, and in the course of the conversation, I happened to casually mention, just casually, that Mr. Fuddy was Alvin's boss.
That's you.
I know who Mr. Fuddy is. Go ahead.
Well, I told her about your negotiations with the Acme Machine Company, and Alvin said I shouldn't have mentioned it because Geraldine's husband is with Universal Machine Company, and if Universal found out about it, it would bankrupt Fuddy Incorporated.
Well, Alvin's right. It would bankrupt Fuddy Incorporated, but I don't see... Give me a cigarette, Alvin.
There, you see, darling, you make such a big production out of it all, and all Mr. Fuddy wants is a cigarette. Did you hear about the fella that said to the other fella, why do you carry that cane? And the other fella says, because it can't walk. I made that up. All right, so I made a little mistake. There are lots of other contracts you can get. Geraldine's father said so. He says right now there's a factory that's just begging for a contract with Fuddy Incorporated.
I'll bet.
Geraldine's father must know a lot about machinery. He probably runs a pool hall.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to get sarcastic, Mr. Fuddy. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Adams.
Felix Adams?
Felix Adams says someone has a contract for Fuddy Incorporated?
Yo.
What are you so excited about?
Did he say who had the contract for us? Who?
Well, he said, but I forget.
I'll call him on the phone. Keep calm, Alvin.
Yes, I'm
How can I reach Felix Adams, my dear?
Dial.
You can't. He just sailed for Honolulu.
Honey, please try to remember.
Remember what?
Who did he say wants a contract with Fuddy Incorporated?
Shouldn't that be whom?
Wait a minute. You said he mentioned a fact. What was its name?
Floyd.
Alvin, get that lamp.
Oh, get that lamp. I'll get it.
Elizabeth, you come with me. Come on.
What are you doing?
We're going to make you concentrate.
Oh, Mr. Fuddy, if you just leave me alone, maybe I can think of it by myself.
Sit down right here.
Here you are. Here you are. There.
Wait a minute.
No,
wait.
Sit down, sit down. Yeah.
Sit down. Okay.
That's fine.
Now, try to think of the name of the factory.
All we want are the facts, ma'am.
I can't think of anything with all those eyes and noses staring at me.
Honey, this is important. Try to think. Look, honey, if you can't think of the name of the factory, what city was it in?
I don't even know what city I'm in.
Oh, wait, please, concentrate, Elizabeth.
Please.
Do we have to have the lights?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it helps you concentrate. Helps you come up here. Here, honey.
Now,
There you
relax.
No, thank you, Sergeant.
Leave her alone, Alvin. Let her think. Oh, well, that was close.
Here she comes. Here it is. She's getting it.
Did you think of it?
Think of what?
Oh, honey, what are you grinning about?
The lamp feels good on my neck.
Oh, honey, what city was it in?
Well, it seemed to me it had something to do with cigarette lighters.
Cigarette
Is there a town called Wickenburg?
Yes.
Yes.
That isn't it.
Oh. Get another lamp, Alvin.
Another lamp?
Aren't you afraid you'll make me lightheaded?
Yes,
Elizabeth, please try to think. You said the city had something to do with a cigarette lamp. City, cigarette lamp.
Is there a town called Flint?
Yes. Yes.
That isn't it. Oh, wait, is there a town called Lighter Fluid?
What?
Sure. Lighter Fluid, Alabama. Oh.
Really?
Oh.
Elizabeth, try to think, please.
Take away the light.
Take it away, Alvin.
With the light?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Concentrate.
Oh, it's no use, Mr. Fuddy. I wouldn't blame you if you fired Alvin.
Honey, please.
Wait a minute. Fire? Flame?
Right.
The smoke.
Smoke?
Smoke. Smoke. That's right here in town.
The only factory here in town is Wickham & Son.
Wickham & Son.
No, I'll dial it. You hold it.
Decided you
Look, I'll
can't
get it.
get any
No,
like that.
Stop it.
Why?
Be careful with these people.
Honey, please.
Hey, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
everybody.
Here to say goodbye to you is the lovely star of our show, Betty White.
Thank you, Jack. And thank you, everybody. Thank you. You know, if nothing else, at least Elizabeth learned one very valuable lesson tonight. She'll never tell Alvin another secret that she heard that she told anybody. Please be with us again next week, will you? And in the meantime, till we see you again, goodbye, everybody.